there is a rumor that is spread that this person went all the way to Russia to witness the World Cup. I'm definitely going to say rumor because I'll leave it to that person to clarify to us. There are people who asked him not about, did you go to see football? No. The actual word that was used was, did you really go to see football? Nejamave Punya was the word. Yeah.
Including
The past area director of area K3, whom we have seen a lot of times on the district division stages for evaluation and humorous speech contests. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sarathy.
Thank you so much, Madam President. It's a bit nerve-wracking when the President hands over and says good luck. There's a lot of extra pressure on you. Welcome, sir. There's a seat in front. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about football. Yes, I did go to Russia. Yes, I did see the World Cup. The questions that get asked are in this order. Did you really go to Russia just to see football? Without your wife? So these are the three questions that get answered, that get asked, and I have to answer them with varying levels of tones. But how did it all start? It started way back in November last year, November 2017. You get these phone calls and you're not sure why. Right? For example, you get a phone call from Ram and you're not sure what role or what punishment you're going to have this week. But I got a phone call from my brother, and we usually chat a lot, but we don't call each other that often unless we meet. So I got this call and I'm wondering what's happened. Has someone passed away, one of our relatives? He said, Sarathy, my friends are going to Russia or thinking of going. Shall we go? And now this is like, a very once in a lifetime opportunity, right? It's like when Ram calls and says, Sarathy, we have TMOD role, do you want it? You're like, I get this chance only once in a year or once in a lifetime, I definitely have to grab it. And I thought, yes, definitely, I'm in. And I thought, much like, with Ram, I can back out at the last minute and say, due to rains, I wasn't able to make it today or something like that. So that's why I decided without thinking and without asking my wife whether I can go to Russia with her. So this is how it all started. Now, tickets for the World Cup are in crazy demand. It's very difficult to get. This is the Football World Cup, which happens once in 4 years globally. It's much more difficult to get than our Ovation tickets, right? It's as highly priced as a Medley or Meraki milestone meeting. It's very difficult to get, and it's a lottery system of getting it, right? For example, when we finish breakfast and JC ma'am gives out the breakfast after the meeting, right? You never know who's going to get it first and who's going to get it last. It's all lottery based, right? So I applied for 4 tickets. 2 quarterfinals and 2 semifinals. I ended up getting only 1 quarterfinal ticket. Now the decision was, should we go or not? And we don't even know which teams are playing, because it's just winner of this group versus second team in this group, right? And we selected that particular quarterfinal, assuming it's going to be Germany versus Argentina. That's what we selected. It so happened that there was another lottery round later on, which we applied for, and we got a round of 16. So the first knockout. Again, we didn't know which team. So we had 2 matches, and we had to base our itinerary around these 2 matches. What did we do? Russia is huge, right? I didn't know how huge it was. Russia is more than 5 times the size of India. There are so many places to go and visit. We ended up visiting 5 places, planning 5 places in our itinerary. And any guesses what the first place was?
Moscow.
No, only place we know.
It wasn't Moscow. Any other guesses?
Mussolini.
Okay. So the two places that I knew of in Russia before booking this was Moscow and St. Petersburg. I'd heard of Vladivostok as in the extreme other side of Russia, but I didn't know anything apart from these 2 or 3 places. Welcome, Aarti.
Thank you.
We had a friendly discussion about where you're starting your journey from.
I would need a separate 2-hour session.
Alright, so from Aarti's place to here, it's like from Vladivostok to Moscow, 2 extremes of Russia, and it takes ages to travel to these 2 places. So we decided to focus our trip to 5 places on the western side of Russia. That's the European side of Russia. And the first place we visited was this place called Samara. Samara. I'd never heard of it. I didn't know what to expect. It has 1 million, a population of 1 million. I went there not knowing what to expect. So I'm going to talk about these 5 places that I visited in no particular order, and 6 places rather. There's one island that I visited as well. And it so happens that our meeting is divided into 6 sections today. We have prepared speech, we have moments of truth, we have evaluation, we have table topics, we have a how do you pronounce it? Humourarian report by a new special role player, and we have the management book review to top it off. So the first place I visited is Samara. It was a very quiet place, sort of like a Trichy kind of place. And my first big ego crash was when we went there and people were like, hey, Brazilian, Mexican. That wasn't the ego crash. I was like, no, India. And their response from most of the people is, what is that? Oh. Right? So that's how a lot of places in Russia are, apart from the metro cities or the top cities. They're very reserved and they live in their own world. They know Europe, they know South America because of football, but other than that, they don't know what the rest of the world is doing. And this was a big ego crash for me, not knowing what India was. And then for the rest of the trip, I had to pretend I was Brazilian or Mexican. And I bought jerseys to sort of prove that. So this is how it all started for me in Samara. And a slight change in the agenda. We're starting off with the management book review today. In Samara, I watched one game, which happened to be a game between Russia and Croatia. Okay, this was a huge game. Now, apart from the game, which I'll get into later, something that stands out about Samara is the river Volga runs through it. And there's this huge embankment where you get to watch the Volga. And one thing about rivers in Russia, the rivers that I saw, is they're not the wavy type that we have in our beaches here, where you have waves and people go and wade in. They're all very flat and pleasant. But what stands out is their elegance and their beauty, and they're very strong and determined. And that is something that I associate a lot with